If you can hear footsteps in Delta Force, I'll show you how we can fix this with EQ. And what is making the footsteps so muffled? For example, this is a live spectrum of the clip that's currently on screen, and what stands out is the tsunami of sound from 20 Hz to 200 Hz, and how it completely dominates the audio. And here's a waterfall graph of the same clip, and check out how loud those frequencies are in comparison to the rest of the graph, and it's easy to see why footsteps are completely muffled in Delta Force. And before someone says just enable HRTF, we'll talk about HRTF here in a second, but the first step in fixing some of these issues is to make sure our settings align. And to start, we'll need to make sure that the Windows setting spatial sound is disabled. And this is important because any kind of spatial audio does not correct the problem. HRTF has two options in Delta Force, and I'll briefly explain what each one does. The binaural audio option is a preset HRTF algorithm that creates a basic 3D audio environment. And the object-based binaural audio setting is an advanced HRTF setting. And there are two problems here. One, both of these options are CPU intensive. And two, regardless of either HRTF implementation, they're both drowned out by the ambient noise and the lack of clarity, especially in the 2K to 4K range where the most audible part of footsteps are. And in order to fix this, we'll need to use an equalizer to knock down the bass and add a boost to the footsteps. Plus, we'll add the LoudMax VST plugin to cap how loud gunfire can get, and a boost to the quieter sounds through compression. With the EQ enabled, footsteps are louder, clearer, and easier to pinpoint than before. And it even works on maps with a lot of ambient noise. It also improved directional audio, making it easier to tell distance and height. Applying the EQ will also knock down a lot of the unnecessary bass and rumble, allowing you to hear directional audio cues during a heavily contested part of the map. For the EQ, I selected 120 Hz and I applied a high pass filter with a Q of 1, and the high shelf filter began at 2000 Hz. We added 6 dB, and then make sure to select the high shelf filter option from just below that. If you want to learn how to install and set up Equalizer APO and LoudMax, I made a video about this, and I'll link it in the description. After you open the Equalizer APO editor and you have LoudMax up, I linked both the threshold and the output, and then I applied 9 dB of compression. In summary, make sure spatial sound and HRTF are both disabled, as any kind of spatial audio doesn't fix the issue, it only compounds the problem. Make sure to install Equalizer APO and LoudMax in order to knock down the excess bass and to add a healthy boost to the footsteps. Adding compression is a necessity, and not only will it protect your ears from high-pitched sounds or loud gunfire, it will also make the quieter sounds a lot more audible. Alright, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.